Okay, this is a rare treat. It's a car that you don't see every day, and it's a Mazda CX-9 V6 3.7 liter. And we're doing a full intake and full exhaust on it, and ECU remap after. And see how much we get. First things first, baseline dyno as usual with everything we do here to see how much stock power it makes. I admittedly have no idea what it makes. I know it'll make over 200 because it's so rare. It's the first time, it's only the second time I've ever seen one. So we'll check it out after the dyno to see what stock power it's making. Okay, and here we have it. This is our baseline run for the CX-9, and not bad. It's 220 horses, which is pretty much what we see for any V6 power plant, be it Camry, Explorer, Genesis. Well, Genesis is a bit high, but definitely will make over 200 horses. So this is at 220 right now. This is our stock horsepower over there. Then this is our stock torque. This is 314 Newton meters here, then just gradually goes down. Overall, it's pretty much what we expect. Air-fuel ratio wise, this is what we see with most modern cars nowadays, that it's a straight 14.7:1 all the way up to around 5,000, and then suddenly it drops down and becomes rich. We'll see what the air-fuel ratio is after we do our intake and exhaust. The idea is this initial part here should be a little bit more rich, ideally here in the 13.8 area, and this part here we could remain at around maybe 12.6, 12.4 here to gain a little bit more power. We'll see, and when we tune it afterwards. Okay, here we changed out the intake to a open type K&N, and this is what it looks like. It's actually out of all the things that we've done, this is the simplest. So this is the throttle body right here, and this is our aluminum tube, and this is our high flow K&N filter. Then this one's our mass airflow sensor. This has to go back. This don't go back, check engine will occur. So that's one. And it's a little bit hard to see from this angle. It's actually plenty hard to see. That's the header right there. There's another header at the back, and obviously that's impossible to see from the top of the car. So once we lift it up, we'll show you what we did. It's basically a V6 exhaust, so it's a 3, 2, and then it's a 6 into 2 and into 1. So it's basically like this, and has a letter V in the middle, goes out to a collector, goes straight out to the back, and then to the Borla exhaust where it makes a Y again to 2 Borla mufflers and 2 Borla tips. And here's our dyno after all the upgrades. As you can see here, this green line over here. This green line over here is our dyno now with the intake and the exhaust. So pretty good horsepower, 4.5 and up. Definitely felt that. But I also felt that there was a little bit of, no, not a little bit, quite a bit of loss in power and loss in torque, especially here at the low RPM when I drove it before and after. So that's to be expected with a full exhaust setup. And since we are going to remap it anyway, we will correct this part here, and then of course we want to get more horsepower there on top. As you can see here, you can look at the air-fuel ratio graph. We're down to the 12.6 region, and then this part got a little more rich than stock, so this is what makes power. So what we're going to do when we tune it, we're going to add more fuel here, probably here in the 13.6 area here. So we want this graph ideally to drop down, then goes down here, and then goes all the way here, something like that. That should give us pretty good and decent power. This is why we dyno test each and every car, because every car is different. And if this guy just wanted basically exhaust that doesn't lose power, makes power on its own, I would have just done a header. I'll leave the stock mid pipe alone and put the Borla muffler for looks and sound. That's it. So we will not have this power loss at the low RPM. But since you're gonna do the whole thing anyway, so might as well. tang ina to, na-shoot din kahit paano. Fuck, finally we were able to do it. So from 220 horses to 251 here at peak. This is stock, then this is everything that's tuned already. That's including intake, headers, and tuning, everything. So not too bad, 30 horses more with everything. We were able to correct the power dip here a while ago. Because let's see if we can pull that up. You can pull that up here. There you go. So this dotted line is stock. This is with our intake and headers, and this blue line is tuned. So overall, not too bad. It's a V6 engine after all. Ina to, buti na shoot din after a lot of problems, namely like, yeah, wrong protocol reading in alien tech. So we actually have Edward here from BP Remap. Did you get a shot of him? He was able to rescue the ECU. Then we don't have to buy a new ECU. That's good. So one last thing to do on this car, we're gonna put a silencer in the middle because when I drove it, pangit yung tunog eh. For a V6, it's not deep, it's not rumbly, so obviously that's not what we want. So since we already tuned it, we're bringing it out there to have the silencer installed. Then test drive again.
Well, this Mazda CX-9 was a pretty good learning experience and almost became a very expensive learning experience because apparently this stupid thing gave us the wrong protocol to use. Good thing Edward here from BP Remap was able to help us out. He actually was able to do a similar car, meaning that Ford Explorer? Ford Explorer. Diba? It's a fucking Mazda CX-9 and then the protocol in the ECU is from a Mazda. Yeah, yung ECU niya, Ford Explorer, diba?
Ford Explorer.
3.5 Ti VCT.
Cyclone.
Layo kaya sa itsura ng Cyclone yan. Nakakita ng Cyclone, hindi naman yun eh. Tangina labo, di ba? So apparently what happened was when we read the file using this one, using the protocol that was given by KES, the file was incomplete. So there were missing
files.
Missing
Dahil
files.
sa wrong protocol na pag-read ng test.
Shit. O yun, nag-start. Yun lang, walang web.
Walang web.
Walang lakas.
Wala lahat.
Wala, patay. Hindi gumagana yung kotse. So apparently he was able to reconstruct it using Windows. Then after that, we didn't use this shit no more. Hindi na to. PCM Flash, di ba?
PCM Flash,
para i-write na lang ulit. So yun, nabuhay ulit. And then tuning-wise, well, since we already have the correct and complete file, we still use Alien Tech to tune it. So at least that one was okay. And yun, lumakas naman eh. Yung importante dun, lumakas naman eh. Saka gumagana eh. Yeah. 30 is the combination now of everything. But when I looked at the graph, yung initial bila kasi, meron mga minus 15, minus 12 dun sa baba. So yun, naayos ng tono yun. Then dun sa gitna, there's another 10 to 15 in the high RPMs. Kasi sa pinakataas, tama na yung AF eh. It was already like 12.5, 12.6. So at least okay na yun. So buti na lang nandito ka. Pwede, tangin na, bibili ko rin ng maghanap ko ng ECU na ganyan.
Hirap yan. Kasi ganyan
hirap yun eh. Kasi pinaikot ko na rin yung ECU niyan. Sabi yun nga, sabi pareho sa Ford. Pag ganyan naman nangyari, so pag let's say pareho ECU, we have to write in the immobilizer data.
Missing files na, okay na yan.
Hindi, let's say assuming na hindi nga gano'n. So you have to buy new ECU, then ano kailangan doon? VIN number lang naman, di ba?
VIN number.
Then you write the new VIN number into the surplus ECU, then theoretically it should start. So those are the ways, things that you have to contend now with modern cars. Buti na lang, mga Civic dati, wala nang gano'n. Sabi ka ECU, tapos sabi pa, tapos yun na yun.
Ayun to, wala yung immobilizer.
Gano'n? Maski mga Fortuner na bago?
Wala. Wala mga immobilizer yan. Bibili ka, hindi mo na kailangan, diretso mo na yun.
Ba pareho yung serial number?
Part number. Part number pareha.
Has to be exactly the same. If it's not the same,
hindi pwede.
No start.
Okay lang na iba sila ng SW number.
software version.
Software version kasi pwede mo naman ilagay yun.
So basically, you need the part number,
Part number
sticker,
talaga.
yung nakalagay sa sticker. Mahirap din maghanap doon. So yeah, the things you learn. That's why it's called speed lab for a reason, because well, yes, you never stop learning, and things like this, of course, they're potentially disastrous, but wala. Yun talagang tuition fee pag may shop ka.
Yan.
Ganun talaga.
Yun yung mga minsan ng mga tuner.
Yeah. No, I think lahat naman, you can't call yourself a real tuner pag wala ka natitigok eh. Lahat ng tuner na kilala natin, sigurado may natigok ka na code sila yun. Siyempre, sa customer, bad trip. Sa amin, lalong bad trip kasi gastos
Yun eh. Tayo magbabayad yun eh.
Tama. Well, yun. Ang bad trip customer, siyempre, oras. Sometimes like, this guy, I think the CX-9 came all the way from Palawan pa eh.
Tapos Monday na kunin.
Monday na kunin niya. At least I didn't have to tell the bad news that he has to stay in Manila for probably another week. That sucks. Pag ganun ba, bayaran ko na lang hotel doon. Para at least, di ba, may biso ng konti. And then, siyempre, pag ganyan, bumili ng ECU. Obviously, lugi na agad.
Charge to experience.
Yes, that's really charge to experience. Tuition fee. So, yung mga tao na sasabi dyan, yung mga nasusubukan ng makina, nasusubukan ng sira ng ECU. Ganun talaga yun. Pag may isang sagot dun eh. F1 ka, nasasabukan ng makina. Kami pa. So, ganun lang naman yun. F1, pag kumakana, bigla kuminto yung kotse. Pag pit mo, ano nangyari? Kamot ulo din naman yun. Mechanic mo dun eh. Yun din ang sagot eh. They have to take the car apart, find out what went wrong, then fix it and make either electronics or pag nasira itong piyesa mo, gawa ka lang sa maintenance ah. Ganun talaga. On a simple note, cellphone na, pag nag-jailbreak, nakita sa cellphone yung mga yun.
Normal lang yun.
Yeah, that's really how you learn. And in the world of engineering, if it doesn't break, that means it ain't strong enough. You haven't reached the limit yet. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you.
May model.
Puta meron. Puta masarap. Okay. At least yung sa throttle. Dito ganun noon. Dati 2.5 kupad eh. Ngayon meron na kaagad. Yun meron.
Ito kaya na kung lagyan ng turbo na mas masarap pa siguro.
Walang space eh.
Wala na space no?
Meron. Dati malalim yung apak kasi umusad eh. Ngayon, konting pwede na lang okay na.
Kasi magkano sa ng fuel
Meron din, kahit pa paano pag natono ng tama, mga 8-5% din. No? Meron to. Okay, I think customer will be happy with this.
Parang may nag-vibrate na sila.
Hindi, yung exhaust nga, yung natunog. Yun nga yung pangit na tunog eh. So that's why papaligay mo ng silencer. Matinig na tunog. Just hindi dapat yun. Well, hindi siya bagay doon sa characteristic ng kotse. Pag Civic to, okay lang yan. Meron. Masarap na tayo. Kasi nga yung una, alam ko naman talaga yun eh. Pag nag-exhaust ka ng mas malaki, kasi stock dito pa, 225.
May delay ka.
225 na tubo, ito 2.5. So pag talaga yung power nila, at least na yun, nabawi kahit pa paano. So yeah, good. Kasi importante, unang tapik, malakas sumibat eh. Yun eh.
Kasi wala naman tayong ginalaw sa peak talaga eh.
Sa peak, wala na rin masyado. Tama na yun. Tumama rin yung AF eh. Nung nag-integrate ng exhaust.